In today's world, everyone is searching for success. People read motivational quotes, watch productivity videos, and try different strategies to improve their lives. But despite all this information, many people still feel stuck. They feel busy, but not truly effective. They work harder, but the results don't always match their effort. So the real question becomes, what actually makes someone truly effective in life? Is it talent? Is it intelligence? Or is it something deeper? In The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, Stephen Covey explains that long-term success does not come from quick tricks or temporary motivation. Instead, it comes from deep habits that shape the way we think, act, and interact with others. These habits are not about working harder. They are about thinking differently. According to Covey, effectiveness begins with a powerful shift in mindset. Before we can improve our results, we must first improve the way we see the world, because the way we perceive reality influences every decision we make. And once we change our perspective, our actions begin to change as well. This idea is the foundation of everything in this book. Before learning the 7 habits themselves, Covey explains something extremely important, a concept that determines whether real change is possible. He calls this concept the paradigm shift, and understanding this shift is the first step toward becoming truly effective. Imagine two people looking at the same situation. One person sees opportunity, the other sees failure. One person sees a challenge, the other sees a problem. The situation is exactly the same, but their interpretations are completely different. This difference happens because of something called a paradigm. A paradigm is the way we see the world. It is the mental framework that shapes how we interpret events, people, and experiences. Most of the time, we are not even aware of our paradigms. They develop slowly through childhood, culture, education, and personal experiences. And over time, they become so familiar that we assume they're the only way to see reality. But Covey explains that many problems in life are not caused by external situations, they are caused by limited paradigms. For example, imagine someone who believes success only means earning more money than others. This belief will shape their decisions, it will influence their priorities, and it may push them to ignore relationships, health, or personal growth. Another person might believe success means creating positive impact while maintaining balance in life. That belief will lead to completely different choices. The difference is not intelligence, the difference is perspective. Covey calls the moment when our perspective changes a paradigm shift. Sometimes this shift happens through powerful experiences, sometimes through learning new ideas, and sometimes through observing life more carefully. But once a paradigm shifts, everything begins to look different. Problems may suddenly appear smaller, opportunities may suddenly appear larger, and solutions that once seemed impossible may start becoming visible. This is why Covey emphasizes that true effectiveness is not about changing techniques, it is about changing character and mindset. Because when our mindset changes, our behavior naturally follows. But before we can build effective habits, we must understand something deeper: the difference between personality ethics and character ethics. And this difference explains why many modern success strategies fail in the long run. In the next section, we'll explore why quick success formulas rarely work and why real effectiveness always begins from within. For many years, success books have focused on something called personality ethics. These are strategies that teach people how to appear confident, persuasive, and influential.
They focus on techniques like improving communication, developing charisma, and learning how to impress others. At first, these strategies can be helpful. They may improve first impressions. They may help someone perform better in interviews or presentations. But Stephen Covey explains that these techniques often focus only on the surface level of success. They try to change how people appear rather than who they truly are. In contrast, earlier philosophies of success focused on something much deeper. They focused on character ethics. Character ethics emphasize qualities like honesty, humility, courage, patience, and integrity. These qualities shape the foundation of a person's life. They determine how someone behaves even when no one is watching. According to Covey, true and lasting effectiveness always comes from strong character, because when success is built only on personality techniques, it often becomes fragile. For example, someone might learn communication tricks to appear confident, but if they lack honesty or responsibility, relationships will eventually break down. Another person might learn leadership strategies, but without integrity, trust will slowly disappear. Over time, people begin to sense the difference between genuine character and artificial behavior. That is why Covey argues that lasting success cannot be built on quick fixes. It must be built on principles. Principles like fairness, honesty, respect, and responsibility are universal. They remain valid regardless of culture, profession, or situation. When people align their lives with these principles, their actions become more consistent and trustworthy. And trust is the foundation of strong relationships, effective leadership, and meaningful success. Covey explains that the 7 habits in this book are not temporary productivity hacks. They are principle-centered habits that gradually transform the way people think and act. But before learning these habits, Covey introduces another powerful concept: the journey from dependence to independence to interdependence. This journey explains how people grow from relying on others to becoming responsible for their own lives, and finally to building powerful collaborations with others. Understanding this progression is the key to understanding the 7 habits, and it begins with the first stage of growth, the move from dependence to independence. In the next section, we will begin exploring the first habit, the habit that starts this entire transformation, the habit that teaches us how to take complete responsibility for our lives. Imagine 2 people facing the same difficult situation. Both encounter problems at work, both deal with stress in their daily lives, both experience setbacks and challenges. Yet one person grows stronger from these experiences, while the other feels powerless and frustrated. What creates this difference? According to Stephen Covey, the difference lies in proactivity. Being proactive means understanding a simple but powerful truth: we are responsible for our own choices. Many people spend their lives reacting to circumstances. They blame their environment. They blame their past. They blame other people. They say things like, "My boss makes me stressed. My situation doesn't allow me to succeed. I can't change anything." But reactive thinking gives power away. It makes people feel like victims of their circumstances. Proactive people see things differently. They recognize that while they cannot control every event in life, they can always control their response. For example, imagine someone criticizes your work. A reactive response might be anger or defensiveness, but a proactive response might be curiosity. You might ask yourself, is there something useful I can learn from this feedback? This shift in thinking creates personal power.
Covey explains this idea through a powerful concept called the circle of concern and circle of influence. The circle of concern includes everything we worry about: politics, economic problems, other people's opinions, unexpected life events. But many of these things are outside our control. The circle of influence includes things we can actually affect: our actions, our habits, our effort, our attitude. Reactive people focus most of their energy on the circle of concern. They complain about things they cannot change. Proactive people focus their energy on the circle of influence. They invest time and effort into actions that create positive results. And as they do this consistently, their influence gradually grows. Over time, proactive people gain confidence, they develop resilience, and they begin shaping their lives instead of simply reacting to it. But taking responsibility for our actions is only the beginning. Once we realize we are in control of our choices, the next important question becomes, what kind of life do we actually want to create? To answer that question, Covey introduces the second habit, a habit that encourages us to imagine our future before we start building it. Imagine attending your own funeral. Family members are present, friends are sitting quietly, colleagues are remembering the moments they shared with you. One by one, people stand up and speak about your life. They talk about the kind of person you were, the values you lived by, the impact you had on others. Now pause for a moment and ask yourself an important question. What would you want them to say about you? Would they say you were kind and supportive? Would they say you were someone who inspired others? Would they say you lived a meaningful and purposeful life? Stephen Covey introduces this powerful exercise to explain the idea behind the second habit. Begin with the end in mind. Most people move through life without clearly defining what truly matters to them. They chase goals that society promotes: higher salaries, better titles, more recognition. But sometimes after achieving these goals, people realize something surprising. They climbed the ladder of success only to discover it was leaning against the wrong wall. Habit 2 teaches us to design our lives intentionally. Instead of drifting through life, we must decide what kind of person we want to become. What values should guide our decisions? What legacy do we want to leave behind? Covey explains that everything in life is created twice. First, in the mind, then in reality. Think about a building. Before construction begins, an architect carefully designs the blueprint. Every detail is planned in advance. Without that blueprint, construction would be chaotic. In the same way, our lives also need a blueprint. This blueprint is called a personal mission statement. A personal mission statement defines the principles that guide our decisions. It describes the kind of person we want to become, and it reminds us what truly matters during difficult moments. For example, someone might write a mission statement that focuses on being a loving parent, living with honesty and integrity, helping others grow, making a positive impact in the world. When people have a clear mission, decisions become easier because instead of reacting randomly to life's pressures, they evaluate choices based on their values. Does this opportunity align with my purpose? Does this decision move me closer to the life I want to create? Over time, this clarity creates direction, and direction creates meaningful progress. But even when we know our purpose, another challenge still remains. Many people understand their priorities, yet they struggle to manage their time effectively. Important goals often get pushed aside by urgent tasks and daily distractions. This is where the third habit becomes essential, because knowing what matters is only the first step. The real challenge is organizing our lives around those priorities. Many people say they don't have enough time. Their days feel rushed, their schedules are full, and yet, at the end of the week, they often feel like they haven't made real progress toward their most important goals. Why does this happen? Stephen Covey explains that the problem is usually not a lack of time. The real problem is a lack of priorities. Most people organize their lives around what feels urgent rather than what is truly important. Emails need quick responses, phone calls demand immediate attention, deadlines create pressure, and slowly these urgent tasks begin to dominate our entire schedule. To explain this problem, Covey introduces a powerful concept called the time management matrix. This matrix divides all activities into 4 categories. The first category is urgent and important. These include crises, emergencies, and pressing deadlines. These tasks demand immediate attention. The second category is important but not urgent. These activities include planning, personal growth, relationship building, and long-term goals. These tasks may not feel urgent today, but they shape our future. The third category is urgent but not important. These are interruptions, unnecessary meetings, or tasks that appear urgent but do not truly contribute to meaningful progress. The fourth category is neither urgent nor important. These include activities that simply waste time, endless scrolling, unnecessary distractions, and habits that provide temporary entertainment without real value. Covey explains that highly effective people spend most of their time in the second category, important but not urgent activities. This includes learning new skills, improving relationships, planning long-term goals, taking care of physical and mental health. The challenge is that these activities rarely feel urgent, so people often postpone them until a crisis forces attention. For example, someone may ignore their health until a medical problem appears, or they may neglect relationships until conflicts arise. But effective people take a different approach. They prioritize these important activities before they become urgent problems. They schedule time for what truly matters. They say no to distractions that pull them away from their mission, and they align their daily actions with their long-term values. This habit is the bridge between intention and achievement, because knowing what matters is powerful, but consistently acting on those priorities is what transforms life. With habit 3, Covey completes the first stage of growth, the stage called private victory. This stage focuses on personal responsibility, vision, and discipline, but effectiveness doesn't stop with personal success. True success also depends on how we work with others. This brings us to the next stage of growth, public victory. And the first habit in the stage introduces a completely different way of thinking about success. Instead of competition, it focuses on cooperation. Many people believe that life is a competition. If one person wins, another must lose. If someone else succeeds, it somehow reduces our chances of success. This mindset creates a constant feeling of rivalry. People compare themselves with others. They compete for recognition, and they often measure success based on who comes out on top. Stephen Covey calls this mindset win-lose thinking. In a win-lose mindset, success is seen as a limited resource. If someone else gains an opportunity, it feels like we have lost something. This thinking can damage relationships, create tension, and prevent collaboration. But highly effective people approach success differently. They adopt a win-win mindset. Win-win means seeking solutions where everyone benefits. Instead of competing against others, people work together to create outcomes that are beneficial for all parties involved. This approach requires both courage and consideration. Courage means standing firm on your own values and goals. Consideration means genuinely caring about the needs and perspectives of others. When these two qualities are balanced, people can create solutions that satisfy everyone involved. For example, imagine two colleagues working on the same project. If both try to dominate the conversation and prove their ideas are superior, conflict will likely arise. But if they approach the situation with a win-win mindset, they will search for solutions that combine their strengths. Instead of asking, "How can I win?" they ask a different question. How can we both succeed? This shift in thinking creates trust and cooperation. Covey explains that a true win-win relationship is built on three important elements. The first is character. Qualities like integrity, maturity, and an abundance mindset help people genuinely believe that success can be shared. The second element is relationships. Trust allows people to communicate openly and search for solutions without fear. The third element is agreements. Clear expectations and shared goals ensure that everyone understands the desired outcome. When these elements work together, collaboration becomes powerful. Teams become stronger, partnerships become more productive, and relationships become more supportive. However, achieving win-win solutions requires one critical skill: the ability to truly listen and understand others. And that brings us to the next habit, a habit that transforms communication and deepens human connection. Most people believe they are good listeners. But if we observe everyday conversations carefully, something interesting happens. While one person is speaking, the other person is often not truly listening. Instead, they are preparing their response. They are thinking about what they will say next. They are planning how to defend their opinion, or they are waiting for their turn to speak. Because of this, many conversations turn into debates rather than understanding. Stephen Covey explains that the biggest communication problem is that people listen with the intent to reply, not with the intent to understand. Highly effective people do the opposite. They practice something called empathetic listening. Empathetic listening means trying to understand another person's thoughts and feelings from their perspective. Instead of judging or interrupting, we listen with patience and curiosity. We ask questions, we observe emotions, and we try to understand the deeper meaning behind what someone is saying. Imagine a child coming home from school feeling frustrated. If a parent immediately responds with advice like, "Just ignore it," or "You're overreacting," the child may feel misunderstood. But if the parent listens carefully and says something like, "It sounds like that situation really upset you," the child feels heard and valued. This kind of listening builds trust. It creates emotional safety in relationships. Covey explains that every human being has a deep psychological need to feel understood. When this need is fulfilled, people become more open to hearing other perspectives. Only after genuinely understanding others should we focus on expressing our own views. And when we do, communication becomes far more effective because people are much more willing to listen when they feel respected and understood. This habit improves every type of relationship. Friendships become stronger, family conflicts become easier to resolve, teams communicate more effectively, and leaders gain deeper trust from the people they work with. But when people truly listen to each other and respect different perspectives, something remarkable can happen. Different ideas begin to combine, creative solutions emerge, and the result becomes greater than what any individual could achieve alone. Stephen Covey calls this next level of collaboration synergy. Have you ever noticed how some teams achieve results that seem almost impossible? A group of people working together suddenly produces an idea that no single individual could have created alone. This is the power of synergy. Stephen Covey explains synergy with a simple concept. The whole can become greater than the sum of its parts. When people with different perspectives, talents, and experiences collaborate effectively, their combined ideas often lead to solutions far better than anything they could achieve individually. But synergy does not happen automatically. It requires certain conditions. First, people must respect differences. Many conflicts happen because individuals believe their own viewpoint is the only correct one. When someone thinks differently, they see it as a problem. But highly effective people view differences differently. They see differences as opportunities. Different experiences bring new ideas. Different perspectives reveal possibilities that others might miss. For example, imagine a team solving a complex problem. One person approaches it analytically, another focuses on creativity, a third thinks practically about real-world limitations. If these individuals argue and compete, progress will slow down. But if they combine their strengths, they can create a solution that is both innovative and practical. Covey explains that synergy becomes possible when people practice the previous habits together. When individuals think win-win, they look for solutions that benefit everyone. When they listen empathetically, they understand each other's ideas more deeply. And when they respect differences, they unlock creativity. In these situations, disagreements no longer feel threatening. Instead, they become exciting opportunities to explore new possibilities. This kind of collaboration is the foundation of great partnerships, innovative companies, and successful teams. It transforms competition into cooperation, and it turns individual effort into collective achievement. However, maintaining effectiveness requires something else as well. Even the most productive people can become exhausted or lose direction if they never take time to renew themselves. That is why Stephen Covey introduces the final habit, a habit focused on continuous improvement and personal renewal.
Imagine a person cutting down a tree with a saw. They work for hours. The task becomes harder and harder. Their energy slowly drains. Someone watching might suggest something simple. Why don't you stop for a few minutes and sharpen the saw? But the person replies, I don't have time to sharpen the saw. I'm too busy cutting. This simple story illustrates a common mistake many people make. They become so busy working that they forget to renew their own energy and abilities. Stephen Covey calls this habit sharpen the saw. It means regularly taking time to improve ourselves in the most important areas of life. Covey explains that human life has 4 key dimensions that need continuous renewal. The first dimension is physical. This includes taking care of the body through exercise, proper nutrition, and sufficient rest. When physical health is ignored, energy decreases and productivity suffers. Even small habits like regular walking, stretching, or proper sleep can significantly improve daily performance. The second dimension is mental. Just like muscles need exercise, the mind also needs stimulation. Reading books, learning new skills, solving problems, and expanding knowledge keeps the mind sharp and creative. Highly effective people never stop learning. They constantly look for ways to grow intellectually. The third dimension is emotional and social. Humans are naturally social beings. Strong relationships, meaningful conversations, and acts of kindness strengthen emotional well-being. Spending time with family, friends, and supportive communities creates a sense of belonging and connection. The fourth dimension is spiritual. This does not necessarily mean religion. Instead, it refers to connecting with deeper values and purpose. Activities like meditation, reflection, journaling, or spending time in nature can help people reconnect with what truly matters in life. When people regularly invest time in these 4 areas, they maintain balance and energy. Instead of becoming exhausted or burned out, they continue growing and improving. This habit ensures that effectiveness is not temporary. It becomes a lifelong journey of growth. And when all 7 habits work together, they create a powerful transformation, from reactive behavior to proactive living, from confusion to clarity, from competition to cooperation, from short-term success to long-term effectiveness. Before we finish, let's quickly revisit the 7 powerful habits that can transform the way we live and work. These habits form a complete system for personal and professional effectiveness. Habit 1. Be proactive. This habit reminds us that we are responsible for our choices. Instead of blaming circumstances or other people, proactive individuals focus on what they can control: their actions, attitudes, and decisions. Habit 2. Begin with the end in mind. This habit encourages us to live with a clear vision. By defining our values and long-term purpose, we can make decisions that align with the life we truly want to create. Habit 3. Put first things first. Once we know our priorities, we must organize our time around them. Highly effective people focus on important activities that contribute to long-term growth, rather than constantly reacting to urgent distractions. These first 3 habits create what Covey calls a private victory: mastery over ourselves. Now the next habits focus on building strong relationships with others. Habit 4. Think win-win. Instead of viewing life as a competition, this habit teaches us to look for solutions where everyone benefits. When people collaborate instead of compete, relationships become stronger and outcomes become better. Habit 5. Seek first to understand, then to be understood. Effective communication begins with listening. By genuinely trying to understand others before expressing our own opinions, we build trust and deeper connections. Habit 6. Synergize. When people respect differences and combine their strengths, they can create solutions far greater than anything they could achieve individually. These 3 habits create a public victory: success in relationships and collaboration. Finally, the last habit ensures that growth continues throughout life. Habit 7. Sharpen the saw. This habit reminds us to continuously renew ourselves, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, so we can maintain balance and keep improving. Together, these 7 habits form a powerful framework for living a meaningful and effective life. They are not quick fixes or temporary techniques. They are principles that guide the way we think, act, and interact with the world. Every great book has the power to change the way we see the world, but the real transformation happens only when we take those ideas and apply them to our lives. The lessons from the 7 habits of highly effective people remind us that success is not built overnight. It is built through small habits repeated every single day. Here on Beyond the Cover, we explore the powerful ideas hidden inside the world's most life-changing books. So if you enjoy learning lessons that can improve your mindset, productivity, and life, make sure to subscribe and join this journey with us. Because every great book contains wisdom waiting to be discovered, just beyond the cover. If you enjoyed this summary, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more powerful book insights. And until the next book, keep learning, keep growing, and keep exploring beyond the cover.